Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Thunder Ducky. Now, this one is going to pertain to She-Hulk. Now, if you don't know about She-Hulk, She-Hulk fucking sucked. I didn't watch it, but, I read enough reviews, I watched a lot of people talking about it, and I knew that She-Hulk just wasn't for me. And apparently, the actress was angry because she didn't get a phone call from Marvel Jesus himself, Papa Daddy Reynolds, to appear in Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, let me just spitball an idea here and say, well, no fucking shit. Your show bombed hard. Nobody fucking liked it. And if they did, they're fucking lying to you or they're Disney fucking shows. And I'm trying to fix this. Not at all the way I had intended. Okay, I need to find a new microphone stand, apparently. Because that isn't going to work out. Anyway, if your show sucks, why would an actor who knows what the fuck he's doing want to call you in? It does not make sense. But, this is about 8 minutes. This is from Nerdy Core, so make sure you go check out Nerdy Core. If they stream, tell them the Ducky sent you, or post in the comments below Ducky sent you. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe over here to this channel. Don't make fun of me because of the pink glass. This is I got a man's drink and a pink glass, I promise. But let's see what this bitch has to say.
It's no surprise that She-Hulk actress Tatiana Maslany has completely lost it ever since her series was essentially canceled by Disney. She-Hulk was a disaster. We all know this, and we don't need to pretend otherwise. It was a complete slump. It went over budget. It wasted Disney's money. It lost Disney Plus subscribers, and now Tatiana Maslany is back for revenge, baby, because she can't believe Deadpool and Wolverine is doing so good and so well without her dumb-ass cameo. Not only her, but without Captain Marvel's cameo, too. We talked about that in a recent video, what Brie Larson is planning to do, and essentially it seems that behind the scenes, these two actresses have come together to form a woke A-team to go up against the gigantic, the beautiful, and the smart Ryan Reynolds, who has just single-handedly saved not only Marvel, but the entire Disney catalog.
Let's be perfectly honest here. While the movie, and I haven't seen the movie yet, while the movie might have been successful, the top R-rated movie of all time, beat Passion of the Christ, it beat Joker, one movie does not save Marvel. Now, if Marvel's going to do a complete 180 and go back to the way that they were, because of the success of this movie, cool, but I highly doubt it. One movie, no matter how successful, does not save a franchise. This needs to be a repetitive process.
Deadpool and Wolverine is something special. If you haven't seen it, you need to go see it. It just passed $1 billion at the box office, and you know that they're coming for this movie, especially Tatiana Maslany, who is insanely jealous of the success that Ryan Reynolds, that Sean Levy, that everybody involved with this project has already had. I mean, do you think that Bob Iger is just going to sit idly by, that Kevin Feige is not involved in this, and that Ryan Reynolds is not the huge main honcho right now at Marvel Studios? He will be involved and asked in a lot of future projects too. He will get prime time meeting status. But as you well know, Tatiana Maslany has been out of the loop for a while. Her show was the worst thing to have ever happened to TV. And, I mean, who could forget the twerking scene? The groundbreaking, fourth wall shattering twerking scene in her office that is so cringy that it might make you cry. So watch it at your own peril. And similar to Brie Larson, Tatiana Maslany is now also...
Thank God. I thought he was going to play that scene there for a second, and I don't want... no.
So behind the scenes, in conversation with feminists inside Disney to actually get hidden information so that she could sue not only Disney, but also Ryan Reynolds, who supposedly, allegedly, has convinced the Disney higher-ups to remove the now famous deleted scene with She-Hulk and Deadpool. Now, if you didn't know, Deadpool, in his post-credits scene in this movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, had a scene with She-Hulk, and She-Hulk, as you know, the cringy character, had fourth-breaking wall abilities too, similar to Deadpool. And in this scene, it was She-Hulk who pretended to be the better character, the better fourth wall breaker than Deadpool, more wittier, and would also teach Deadpool how to break the fourth wall and be a little subtler. You know, because...
What? You know how many people that would piss off? You know... No, Deadpool, I mean, comic book wise, I can't specify. But when it comes to Marvel characters who break the fourth wall, Deadpool set that. Now, this Tatiana chick, She-Hulk, trying to teach him how to do fourth wall breaks, that's some bullshit right there.
Because we all know She-Hulk, it's all about subtlety. I mean, she brought so much richness to the character that it wasn't cringy and in your face at all. It's just pathetic when you think about what these woke feminists really want to do within these companies. They destroy them from within, and thankfully Bob Iger has finally woken up. I think I know why,
I don't know about
because if you remember Tatiana Maslany back in 2023 when the strike was happening, when the writers and the actors strike, she literally called Bob Iger an out-of-touch old man. But it seems that in a recent interview, she is backtracking those words real quick when she realized that not only She-Hulk is canceled, but she won't get involved in any future Disney Plus project, especially one so successful like Deadpool and Wolverine. Of course, as you might have suspected, Bob Iger and Ryan Reynolds together scrapped the entire scene with She-Hulk. She won't appear in the final theatrical cut. For those of you who have seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you watch that movie, you will never get a hint of She-Hulk. But what's more is that she expected in the Blu-ray edition and in the streaming edition, once the extended edition came out with deleted scenes now put in, most of them will be reverted back into the original movie, rumored to be close to 3 hours. But guess what? She-Hulk will not appear even in that extended version.
Good. If she's doing all this and then she calls out Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige gave her the opportunity of a lifetime. So I'm not going to say it's just the writing for She-Hulk that made it fail. It was her behavior when that show was going on, too. She set herself up for failure. And then after that, she's going to come out and attack. Literally, she bit the hand that was feeding her. Come on. And she expects to be put in a movie like this? We're talking about a bitch who was in a failed Marvel show going into a movie with legends from the Marvel franchise. Spoilers. I mean, I've already been spoiled. I already know who's all in the movie. But you had Chris Evans come back as Human Torch. You had Jennifer Gardner come back as Elektra. You had Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine. By the way, one of my favorite characters. But the pinnacle of characters that I never thought would come back. And he was my first Marvel character that I ever saw, and also my first R-rated movie. You had Wesley Snipes come back as Blade. And she thought after a failed season, one failed season, she didn't have a good season, then have a bad season, then have a failed season. No, she had one failed season, and she expected to find herself in the ranks of this? Bullshit.
Similar to Captain Marvel. And this is, I think, directly involved with Tatiana Maslany and Brie Larson, who have been critical of Disney, critical of the hand that feeds you.
See, he just said the hand that feeds you. And what does Brie Larson have to bitch about? She was in Avengers Endgame. She was in the movie where Iron Man died. That's going to seal her character in right then and there. And then, you know, she had the Marvels, which didn't help anything.
And now you have to face repercussions, Tatiana Maslany. This is how it feels when you have to be a responsible adult and not a woke child like you are, going around and spewing hatred and venom wherever you can. I'm going to literally give you a quote here, what Tatiana Maslany said about Bob Iger back in 2023. She said, I think he's completely out of touch. He's completely out of touch with the workers who make his shows happen, who make people watch these shows. who bring viewers to him and money. First of all, this quote is so childish. I mean, look at how she speaks. What type of intelligence can you really bring out of this person? She talks about the CEO.
Can we just talk about how that looks like she's taking a massive shit? Like, can we? Can we look at that face? It just looks like she's taking a massive shit.
Of Disney this way. People who watch these shows and bring viewers to him and him money. You think Tatiana Maslany is responsible for bringing Bob Iger money? Even Tatiana Maslany, who said this, does not believe this. And she doesn't, of course, because she has been trying now to revert her stance and go against her words and swallow the toxic masculinity, folks, because that's where the money is. This is what this strong feminist said very recently. She said about her calling Bob Iger completely out of touch. She said, in those moments, you're so heated up. And she added, it's hard to articulate yourself in a way you want when you're on the picket line with everybody. Literally, she is backtracking what she said about Bob Iger because now she is jobless and she cannot get...
Can we just talk about, for a second, backtracking a perspective you have because you know you fucked up is fine. But the way she came out and said it to begin with, and now she's trying to kiss ass or suck dick or however you want to put it, she's not doing a very good job of it. Out of touch, huh? Well, you know, you're kind of out of touch with work in Hollywood, you know what I'm saying?
At work, especially not as She-Hulk. Of course, she has been completely wiped out of everything Disney related. No future plans for She-Hulk. She has decimated her career because she wanted to be an activist. Well, Tatiana Maslany, this is what an activist feels like. You can't be a corporate stooge and an activist at the same time. So go with your strong females, stand side by side, while the real people, the capitalists that are running this world, will actually show you where your place is. Believe it or not, they hired you. You didn't make them money. You actually lost money, Tatiana Maslany. So don't talk again about your boss that way. He is the hand that feeds you. You slapped it away. Now face the consequences. This is how it feels like, and it's pretty good to see her actually face some consequences. We have Variety posting these on Twitter. The responses just killed me. Don't Gina Carano me was a great one. Translation, please greenlight season 2 of She-Hulk. I am very sorry now that I'm facing the consequences of my actions. Translation, Mr. Iger, I'm sorry. Greenlight season 2, but also beautiful at the same time. Tatiana Maslany should be taught this lesson. And thankfully, Ryan took care of this particular issue with She-Hulk 2, so in Deadpool and Wolverine, you won't get a hint of this toxic character. The worst character to come out of the MCU ever. And yes, there are some doozies in there, but not like She-Hulk. Alright, tell me what...
Let me just give a word of advice, everybody. If you're in a field like acting, and you have an opportunity to be in a Marvel project, good, bad, or failed, in the case of She-Hulk, but let's go ahead with failed, because we're looking specifically at this actress. You don't then go and bitch and moan your way into a big production like Deadpool and Wolverine. You're part of a failed TV show. They had to know Deadpool and Wolverine was going to do good. Now, I don't think they're going to think it was going to do over $1 billion. But you had Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine, and there were teases out the ass of the cameos that were going to show up in the movie. She got cut. Big whoop. Really don't care. I don't think anybody fucking cared. I don't think anybody even fucking knew that she was going to be potentially in this movie. Nobody cares, bitch. Nobody cares. I didn't care. And I haven't even seen the fucking movie yet. You can't go and attack your boss and then expect him to give you rewards. That might work for a lot of other places, but I think Kevy is starting to get his head back on his shoulders and not up someone else's ass. Am I dumb enough to say that Marvel is saved? No. After one movie like this, no. Not with the success that we've seen since Iron Man, the original from '08, up to Endgame. Hell, even the Captain Marvel movie's in there. But even all the way up to Endgame, we're nowhere near what Marvel was. One movie's not going to save it. Now, if they want to save it, I got some ideas. First of all, Marshall Ali is a great actor. Let him go. Let him go explore other options. Make a Blade movie with Wesley Snipes again. That gives you time while that movie's getting made to find a younger actor to play Blade, and then you can get a younger one, specifically so you can get multiple movies out of him. You can make a franchise with him. You can Robert Downey Jr. his ass, but of course Blade's a little more physical, and you actually are supposed to see Blade fight. Unlike, Robert Downey Jr. in the Iron Man armor, because he was wearing the armor, and you don't really get to see him. Then do a Wolverine versus Hulk movie, but do not have it as Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo's Hulk was fine until Endgame, and then they made him a complete and utter bitch and completely ruined Hulk for me. I really don't give a flying fuck about Smart Hulk, Professor Hulk, whichever one he was supposed to be in that. I don't care. I want Hulk to be angry. I want Hulk destroying buildings. I want Hulk being a destructive force. I don't want him to be some, actually, don't want that. And I think they just announced that there's going to be a Hulk movie or Hulk series coming out, so we'll see how that fucking goes. Let's see. I had another one. Do X-Men versus the Avengers. You want to bring the X-Men in? Do that. Do a Marvel Zombies trilogy. Make it a You're doing multiverse anyway. Make it a multiverse. Its own multiverse. Make a Marvel Zombies trilogy. Make it horror. Make it scary. Get Guillermo del Toro to do it. Somebody. Because if Marvel's willing to show that they're willing to take risks with the hand they've been dealt to what people actually want, then Marvel would be saved. But right now, Deadpool and Wolverine didn't save Marvel. They might have made Marvel a little more relevant to a lot of people that kind of wrote it off, but they didn't save it. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below, ladies and gentlemen. Catch y'all later.